the collegiate cubing championship is, as far as we know, the first ever cubing tournament designed just for college students.
Oh, hold on a second now. You've got Carter Kukala for UW-Madison.
And we just went on the internet and Googled every university cubing club we could find, messaged like 50 different schools. And it was actually very surprising how many responded quickly and very positively.
Welcome along. Hey, listen, you guys need to introduce yourselves first of all, because I don't even know who I'm talking to yet. Who have I got here?
Yeah, so I'm Martin. I'm a sophomore at the University of Alabama. I'm the guy who commentates all the streams, so maybe you recognize my voice or anything like that.
Yes, I do. Your name again, sorry, was?
Martin.
Martin. As soon as you said it, I started messing with something in OBS and immediately forgot, and I'm so sorry. And I was like, I think he said Mason? No. Okay, Martin. Martin, thank you. Thank you very much. Who else have we got?
I'm Alex. I'm also a sophomore here at the University of Alabama, and I kind of do the judging during the streams. I check people's scrambles and end of the times and stuff.
Okay, great. And third and final?
Yeah, I'm John. I'm sort of like the tech back end lead or something like that. I wrote a lot of the website and just worked a lot on like OBS and that whole side. So that's my role.
I know the struggle. All right, I think I've optimized where you're sitting on the screen now. I think we've got it. This will work. I can make this work. Okay, so let's start with the basics. If anyone in the chat wants to tell me whether there are audio problems, by the way, that would be great. As far as I can tell, we're good. We're not doubling up or anything, so we should be sweet. Where do we want to start? Why don't you introduce what the Collegiate Cubing Championship is, and then I've got some more questions to go in after that. So why don't you just kind of give us the rundown, give us the pitch.
Sure. So the Collegiate Cubing Championship is, as far as we know, the first ever cubing tournament designed just for college students. It sort of happened. We came up with the idea just one random Saturday. I thought it'd be super cool to just have a giant tournament for a bunch of college teams, like you see in football or basketball or something like that, but for cubing. And so we stream matches usually Thursdays and Saturdays in the evenings or afternoons between different universities around America. And we do like a head-to-head format, so you just try to win a solve, and then it's a best of 7 solves per set, and then we have 3 competitors per team, so 3 sets, best of 7 solves each set. And if you win 2 sets, move on to the next round of the competition. It's just a single elimination bracket, so nothing too crazy.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yes, you haven't committed to the double elimination losers bracket.
No, not yet.
That's
awful long.
I'm finding that out with my own stupid thing that I'm doing on the stream, that a double elimination, that adds a lot of matches. It makes it last a long time. So that's quite a lot. So what was the inspiration for getting it started then? Because obviously it's a relatively, you were not reinventing the wheel with what we're doing here. But so where did the two things come from? You were like, ooh, all the colleges competing, that would be great. But then the format, what went together there?
If I remember right, I was just chilling in this room with Alex over here. We were about to go to an Alabama football game, and we were just watching some monkey league before we went. And then I think he came up with the brilliant idea that got us kicked off, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Monkey League's it's got a lot to answer for in a good way. It really it set such an amazing precedent. Hey, It really did. You're gonna have to explain something to me and to some of my listeners, viewers,
Sure.
And that is exactly how intense college rivalries are in America. So I'm from Scotland. I live in New Zealand. I guess I understand a little bit about, university rivalries. Like me and my wife, we both went to a uni in Edinburgh, and we'll talk smack about that. But we didn't really have teams that represented them in sports and things as much as you do. So how big a deal is college rivalry or uni rivalry in America?
I don't know if you can overstate just how big of a deal it is. It is huge in the United States, especially with football. University of Alabama, we're the football school in America. We have a massive rival, Auburn, just across the state. And so everything like in terms of school spirit revolves around that rivalry. And we're not the only ones. There's rivalries all across America. Like the last week of football season is just rivalry weeks. You have all sorts of great games, intense games, lots of fan interactions, and different things like that. So it's a big deal. A lot of school spirit is driven by rivalries, things like that. I don't know if you guys have something to add to that.
And you
is a big deal.
Yeah, so you guys are all Alabama, right? I can see you rep. Yeah, we've got John repping the t-shirt there. Let's go. So Alabama's the big football state. How is it rating though? How does it rate for cubing? Where are we sitting with Alabama? I'm just looking at the website.
You're looking at the 3 fastest members right here, basically. We average around like 15 seconds or so. We played against Vanderbilt. We got absolutely smacked. But I mean, it was still a fun time, and this is something that we're trying to emulate a little bit with the CCC as well. Just trying to get people behind like their local college team, because in the Monkey League, it was really interesting because you got to see cubing at the highest levels, and we're definitely bringing something a little bit different to the table, because you might not be able to personally relate as much to like these super high level cubers who you probably haven't met or like gone to competitions before, but people are excited about the CCC because it's people that they know or have been to competitions before with, so they're able to like root for a local team. That's kind of what we're trying to do with our thing as well.
Yeah, and I think that's huge, because I've on occasion, like, people don't, generally speaking on YouTube, people don't want to watch solves that aren't fast, generally speaking, but there is a market for it, because I've had comments on my videos sometimes when people are just like, man, it's actually really refreshing to see someone who solves like me, you know, like I can actually relate to your solving. And although that's not the biggest part of the market, it's such an important part, you know? I think by being so bold with, yeah, because it's almost everyman, the collegiate championship, right? You know what I mean? It's obviously you're the best in the school. But like, that's not necessarily to say best in the world. And I think just embracing that sort of tier of solving and actually celebrating the regular solvers, you know, because obviously there are fast people in the league. Hey, there are people who are like average 10, average 9, things like that. Is that right?
Yeah, we have some pretty quick guys competing. I think we have a couple of our teams. I don't know if we have any like fully sub-7 teams, but a couple of teams are around the low 7s. I know we have a couple of sub-7 solvers as well, but some really cracked guys.
Yeah.
If you're interested, well, you can go on our website. There's a blue button that says View Team Rosters, and you can see ordered fastest to slowest. I know UW-Madison and OSU have some pretty fast solvers that are all around 7-second averages.
Oh, so hold on a second now. You've got Carter Kukala for UW-Madison.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, now we're talking. Now, yeah, okay, that's serious. Okay, so Madison they've got to be clear favorites, right? And then Berkeley? Well, actually, Berkeley's in the thick of it, aren't they, really? There's a lot of... I'm just looking at the spreadsheets just now. I don't know if you... it's really difficult for me to share what I'm looking at as well as talking to you guys, but... hold on a minute, I've lost the screen. Where are we? But yeah, I'm essentially just looking at that blue button you just told me to have a look at. That's great. Love that. I was looking at the bracket as well and seeing what's coming up. Now, didn't we have NYU recently versus Auburn? There it was. That was a match I watched after seeing their interview on the Cubicle. Hey, that was some good promo for you guys. God dang. That was great.
Awesome.
And that was a close match, hey? Because there was a bit of an upset, though there's been a number of upsets. Would you say?
I guess so, yeah. That was our first like full team upset. Like NYU was ranked higher than lower. They were higher seeded than Auburn, and so they actually upset Auburn. I think there've been some sets in there that have been upsets, but definitely some major upsets. But that was probably our biggest one so far. Yeah,
right. I think that's probably the nature of the solvers, I suppose, because I guess your top tier solvers, they're making less mistakes generally. But then you can never tell with these level of solvers where a mistake might happen. And like, I watched a couple of matches and was genuinely just like, oh, yo, here we go, because we're always looking for that underdog, right? I don't know if that's a thing in America as well as it is over here, but like we love an underdog story, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We love to see that. So you're all the way through round 1, and we're about to get started on round 2 is what it looks like, yeah?
Yep, tomorrow night. First 2 matches. I think we got. Oh shoot, who's our first match?
We have Georgia Tech versus Tufts first, right? And then later that night is going to be Penn State versus Vanderbilt. And so both of those.
Boo, Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Right. No, we want to see Vanderbilt get crushed because they beat Alabama, of course.
That is true. So we're going to say it out loud.
That's okay. I can say it because I'm not tied in, but we want to see that. Y'all sleeping on UT. Dylan Miller in the chat. Y'all sleeping on UT. What's UT? Is that?
Oh, that's University of Texas.
Texas.
They are seeded number 5. They are definitely a contender for the top. So yeah, we got to make sure we mention them too.
But Vanderbilt and Penn State, I think they even saw faster than Texas did this first round. So we're gonna have to lock it. I have to lock it for sure.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I love this. This is so good seeing the team roster. That I hadn't found that on the website until now. I've just been looking at the bracket. But what I wanted to ask a little bit about, just for people who are, because I think there's so much potential in, because there are so many cubers and there's so many, capable, intelligent cubers as well, who might be looking at this going, yo, maybe I could put something together like this. What have been the challenges of actually putting it together? So like from the idea, from you guys going to watch the football and then to now, like what have been the really big challenges of putting this whole thing together?
Big challenges. It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
I'll say that much. A lot of work. There's a lot of like little details that you don't think about that come up. You're probably familiar with this, dealing with some more like technical stuff. And John can tell you all about it. There's all the little things that come up, all the little problems that throw a wrench into your plans, and different things like that. In terms of big things that really kind of hindered us.
Like, what about the people? Like getting all the schools on board. Like, what was it? Did you get like good buy-in from everyone? Did everyone get it, or were some people like, nah, that won't work, that's dumb?
We contacted. Well, actually, Alex contacted most of the schools. He probably
I think that first day. So we had the idea. I think it was a Saturday afternoon, and we just went on the internet and Googled every university cubing club we could find. Messaged like 50 different schools, and it was actually very surprising how many responded quickly and very positively.
That's
so off
cool.
the bat, there was a lot of people that were interested. Once we actually started organizing, though, that's where a lot of the challenges came in, with people's schedules and getting information from people. We wanted to put out content with the cubicle, so like the competitor introductions. So we had to get a lot of stuff from people. So, I mean, all the logistics and organizing that stuff, that was the hard part. But in terms of just getting people interested, there was a lot of people that were interested as soon as we mentioned the idea.
Well, that's cool. So there's a big appetite out there for stuff like this. Were people on board with the knockout vibe of it, or like did you get much people kind of trying to tell you what the best thing to do would be, or did they get on board with your format and stuff?
We definitely did get a lot of feedback from competitors, like as we were trying to formulate the exact format of matches and also the bracket that we were going to do. I know at one point we were going to do a bracket. I don't remember if it was double elimination. It was some like round robin stage, and it would have required like over twice that many matches. And we realized that we would have to cut back, but people seemed pretty receptive to that. But yeah, we tried to involve our competitors and get feedback from them as much as possible, and it seemed to have worked out so far. So.
Okay, well that's cool. I'm glad to hear that. So like, tell me, let's get deep into the tech stuff, John. Okay, like tell me what are we looking at? What are we watching when we're watching this? Obviously, a lot of people will know how to chuck an OBS stream together or whatever, like doing something like what I'm doing, but which isn't really taking in much information from outside. It's mostly just talking to a camera with a couple of scenes. But you've got a lot of information coming in, right? You've got the times. Some people are actually using CS Timer, I think. What's the kind of the level of work involved in all that, and how did you get around all that stuff?
Oh man, I could really go into this for a really long time, but I'm going to try to give like a really oversimplified answer. We talked a lot to Philip Lewicki, who organized the Monkey League, and he talked about the tech stack that he used. And
Nice.
he used a coded website that was really like tailored toward Monkey League. And so I figured that I could probably do the same thing or something similar. And it was a lot of work. But that's probably what took the most work, is just getting a website to synchronize, like displaying the scrambles and telling people when they're going to start. And just trying to synchronize communication between the competitors and judge, as well as what you're seeing on the stream, how it automatically updates with all of the solve times. But yeah, if anybody's interested in making your own competition, I'd highly recommend this website called Video Ninja that allows you to stream in video sources from other places, and that's how we're able to get competitor video and timers from the competitors. But that's the basic tech stack.
Video Ninja. Maybe, I might have to check that out. I might have to check that out because my setup for doing interviews like this is so janky. Absolutely, completely janked. So, what's on the line? What are the stakes? What are people fighting for? Is it just for the collegiate glory, or are there prizes? What's the deal?
Great question. I think we have some gift cards from the cubicle. I don't want to say that we can give them out to winners or anything like that, but it hasn't been finalized. That's been in the talks though.
Okay.
But definitely, in my opinion, there's a lot of glory in saying you were the first ever collegiate cubing champion. I don't think there's anything better than that, to be honest.
It's hard to put a cash value on swag. You know what I mean? Like, just to be able to say we got it. So who's your pick? Listen, now that University of Alabama, rest in peace, out in round 1. Who's your pick? Are you guys agreed on a pick, or have you got opinions on who it's going to be, or is that something you're willing to disclose? Would that be giving away too much? Because obviously we've got Dylan in the chat for Texas. He likes Texas.
I'll say I don't think Texas is going to take it. I don't think Texas is going to take it.
Okay.
I'll put that out there. They're not like in top 5 for me at all.
Okay.
I disagree. I would favor Texas a little more than that. I think that's a little bold. I don't know about that one.
So you're okay. So we're so far. Martin's saying Texas won't touch the top 5. Alex reckons that ain't happening. We're going to see Texas in top 5. John, who's your pick? Who's like your second choice of uni?
That's a good question. I think I'll probably go with OSU for me. Just because whenever I'm from like Western Pennsylvania, so I used to go to a lot of competitions in Cleveland, and I think I might have gone to a couple competitions with some of the people that are on that team. So that's who I'm rooting for.
So that's Ohio State.
Ohio State, absolutely. Ohio State.
The Ohio State. Epic. Listen, it's such an impressive amount of work you've took on, and such a huge scale of competition. Manu in the chat now going, "Go Bucks." I'm going to need a translation for that. I don't know who the Bucks are. Who are we talking about there?
That's Ohio State, I think. They're the Buckeyes.
Oh, okay. That's Ohio as well. Nice. I think that's where Manu is actually as well. Yeah, it's such a huge scale that you've taken on. I think it's really impressive. And I have been enjoying some matches so far, and I look forward to some more. We'll leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a real pleasure. Appreciate you running back from class to jump on the stream. So yeah, back onto my underwhelming tech. I'm basically going to hang up on you and carry on with my stream. So it's not going to be very dignified, but I'm going to say peace.
Take care.
I will see you guys later. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time.